What if I told you that a Kentucky farmhand who fell asleep and woke up speaking medical Latin, and a group of indigenous people in the Arizona desert who have never left their mesas, and a contactee standing on a riverbank in North Carolina being visited by a being of light, all said the same thing? Not similar things, the same thing. They said something is coming. They said it involves the sky. They said it involves hidden knowledge that will be revealed to humanity. And they all pointed, without knowing about each other, to this window of time. This exact window right now. Edgar Cayce was not what you'd expect from a prophet. No flowing robes, no mountaintop visions. He was a Sunday school teacher from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. A photographer by trade, a family man, a man who, by all accounts, was completely ordinary, until the moment he closed his eyes. Because when Edgar Cayce fell asleep, something else woke up. Starting in the early 1900s, Cayce would lie down on a couch, fold his hands across his chest, and enter a self-induced trance. In that state, he would speak, sometimes in languages he didn't know while awake. Sometimes diagnosing illnesses in patients he'd never met. Describing symptoms in medical terminology he had no education in. Edgar Cayce gave over 14,000 psychic readings during his lifetime. Every single one was stenographed by a secretary and preserved. They are still held in the archives of the Association for Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and are searchable by the public today. He predicted both world wars. He predicted the 1929 stock market crash 15 years before it happened. He predicted the creation of the State of Israel in 1935. Israel didn't exist as a nation until 1948. But here's the part that matters for today's episode. Because scattered across those 14,000 readings, Cayce kept coming back to one place, one monument, one hidden door. In a series of readings given in October through December 1933, Cayce described something buried beneath the sands of Giza. He called it the Hall of Records. According to Cayce's readings, survivors of the lost civilization of Atlantis, watching their world collapse into the ocean around 10,500 BC, fled to Egypt. And before everything they knew was gone, they built a vault. Not a pyramid, not a tomb, a library. A complete record of human history, of where we came from, of what we are, of what was known before the flood. And they hid it beneath the right front paw of the Great Sphinx. In Cayce's own words from reading 378-16, I quote, "This in position lies as the sun rises from the waters, the line of the shadow falls between the paws of the Sphinx. That was later set as the sentinel or guard, and which may not be entered from the connecting chambers from the Sphinx's right paw until the time has been fulfilled." In 1991, geophysicist Thomas DeBecke conducted seismic surveys beneath the Sphinx as part of a geological research project. His analysis identified 3 separate dead spots under the Sphinx's right front paw, areas where seismic readings indicated hollow spaces. Archaeological explanation for these anomalies has been established. The findings were later noted in the 1993 documentary The Mystery of the Sphinx. But Cayce didn't just say where the Hall of Records was, he said when it would be opened. He said it would happen during a time of dramatic change in the world. He said it would coincide with the emergence of what he called a new consciousness, a new kind of human awareness. He called it the fifth root race. He said the discovery would not happen because of a shovel. It would happen because humanity had evolved enough to receive it. And he said, through his own organization's interpretation of his readings, that the planetary conditions for that moment arrive between 2024 and 2027. The ARE is actively promoting a 2026 awakening, the Association for Research and Enlightenment. This is the nonprofit founded by Edgar Cayce himself to preserve his work. It has established official content on its website connecting Cayce's Hall of Records readings to a predicted window of 2024 to 2027. ARE-affiliated speaker Kirk Nelson identified this window as containing the best astrological aspects of the next 35 years. This is not fringe interpretation. This is institutional messaging from Cayce's own organization. Now, if you watched our last episode, you already know about Chris Bledsoe. You already know about the entity he calls the Lady. You already know about the prophecy she delivered about this same event. Here's what we didn't have time to fully explore, and here's what stops me cold. Bledsoe was told by this being of light in a contactee experience that has been investigated by intelligence officials, by scientists, by a Harvard-trained academic, that when the star Regulus aligns with the gaze of the Great Sphinx, humanity will receive new knowledge when humanity was ready. Chris Bledsoe said a star would align with the Sphinx when the knowledge arrives. These two men never met. Cayce died in 1945, and Bledsoe's contact experiences began in 2007. They are describing the same event from completely different directions. The convergence window, the narrow span of time, roughly 2024 to 2027, during which multiple independent prophetic traditions, contact experiences, and astronomical calculations appear to be pointing to the same predicted event, a cosmic alignment triggering access to hidden knowledge. Now let's go someplace else entirely, to the high desert of northeastern Arizona, to the Hopi Mesas, one of the oldest continuously inhabited places in North America, to a people who call themselves the Peaceful Ones. The Hopi have a cosmology built on cycles. They believe humanity has lived through multiple worlds, each one ending because of corruption, destruction, and moral collapse. And each time, the Hopi survived in underground chambers and repopulated the next world. According to their tradition, we are currently living in the fourth world, and the end of the fourth world will be announced by a celestial messenger. We know it as the Blue Star Kachina. The Blue Star is the ninth and final sign when it appears in the sky, visible to everyone. The day of purification begins. The fourth world ends and the fifth world is born. Now, I want to be transparent with you because that's what we do here. The version of this prophecy most widely circulated today was first written down in a 1963 book by author Frank Waters, based on conversations with Hopi elders. Some scholars question how ancient certain elements truly are, but here's what's harder to dismiss. Whether you accept the prophecy's age or not, what it describes matches something that happened in July of 2025. Unlike anything observed before, it appeared to have originated outside our solar system, possibly older than the sun itself. It displayed unusual structural behaviors that multiple astronomers noted were inconsistent with ordinary cometary activity, and immediately connected it to the Blue Star Kachina prophecy, a blue-white object from outside our solar system appearing in our sky. But the Hopi also said that the fifth world is not destruction, it's a beginning. It's what comes after the purification, a world built by those who stayed true to the old ways, a world of expanded consciousness. Sound familiar? But we're not done because there is a third voice. Benjamin Solari Parravicini, born in Argentina in 1898, a talented artist and poet. Beginning in the 1930s, he began producing what he called automatic drawings, images and texts that came to him involuntarily, that he did not consciously create. He's sometimes called the Nostradamus of Argentina. His followers point to drawings that appear to predict World War II, the atomic bomb, the moon landing, and September 11th. He also produced work that his followers say references transformative events in 2026. Events connected to Egypt, events connected to a shift in human consciousness. 3 independent sources, a trance state prophet from Kentucky, indigenous oral tradition from the Arizona desert, an automatic drawing artist from Buenos Aires. None of them knew each other. None of them could have, but all of them pointing here. Now let's talk about what's actually happening in the sky, because it turns out the astronomers are not disagreeing with the prophets. They're just using different language for it. It also lines up with the October 7th window, which our research confirmed in the last episode, represents the most precisely calculated date for Regulus to align with the Sphinx's direct eastward gaze. Kirk Nelson, an ARE-affiliated researcher, has argued that the combined planetary aspects of 2024 through 2027 represent the single most significant astrological configuration in the next 35 years. We are inside that window right now, and nothing has happened yet. Or everything is about to. Edgar Cayce was not infallible. Some of his prophecies didn't come true, and you deserve to know about those. He predicted that the west coast of North America would be destroyed by catastrophic geological upheaval sometime between 1958 and 1998. California is still there. He also predicted a pole shift, a physical tilting of the Earth's axis that would reshape the continents in the year 2000 or 2001, and that didn't happen. What I'm asking you to notice is the pattern. Not one voice predicting this, three, from three completely different corners of the world and different eras of time. That's what we're looking at. I want to leave you with one thought. Cayce said that the Hall of Records would not be opened by a shovel. It would be opened when humanity was ready to receive what was inside. The Hopis say the fifth world doesn't begin with destruction. It begins with people who were already living differently, already aligned, already quiet enough to hear something coming. Bledsoe's entity, the lady, said the shift in knowledge would not be given to everyone equally. It would be perceived by those who were paying attention. Three traditions, same message. Pay attention. Something is in the window. The question is whether you're looking. So before we leave, I want to give you an update on the last episode about Chris Bledsoe. That video posted on April 4th, 2026, and Easter the next day left a lot of us wondering, was the lady going to come back for her visit that she has on many Easters in the past? And Chris Bledsoe confirmed on his Instagram that she did return, that he and his daughter both witnessed her. He has yet to release any information about that visit. If he does, I'm going to come back in the comments section below and I'm going to update with what he says. So before you leave, take a peek down there. I'm Heather, and this is Seriously Spooked. If this episode connected something for you, share it with someone who needs to see it. Be sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.